All right, so what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, man. It's your boy, and I had a couple people reach out to me asking why I have not made a video on Beast, even though he got a brand new X-Men 97 uniform, and this thing looks amazing, and he's obviously better than he was previously. And the truth of the matter is twofold. One, I've been having a lot of fun with Storm and Cyclops, and they did such a fantastic job with those characters that I just haven't really had the time. But truthfully speaking, it's more so I just really didn't have the motivation to make the video that needs to be made on Beast. I had hopes and expectations for this character, and unfortunately, he is once again fall short. He fell short again, and they're doing this on purpose. I have now come to the conclusion that they just don't want him to be anything more than a leader and a support. That's honestly what I think. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4 uniforms, and if you just look at the fact that in here they have him listed as leader and support, whereas in the case of Cyclops and Storm, even though Cyclops is a leader and a support, he also has the dealer tag, which really goes to show because now he's a top tier DPS. Now, the truth is, Cyclops has had the dealer tag for a while. However, that doesn't mean he was good enough to actually be a dealer. But then in the case of somebody like Beast, they're making it very clear that if you buy this uniform and you build this character, you're building him primarily as a support character, ideally for PvP, and he himself isn't really going to be top tier. And it's unfortunate because I think he has a fantastic tier 4 ability and he has an amazing artifact. However, if you take a look at his tier 4.5 gear, his elite gear, you can see they're leaning him more towards being a PvE character. It's the same thing that Cyclops has, and that's why we can, I would say, kind of abandon the hope of Cyclops getting iframe ignore back in his kit. Whereas if you look at characters like, let's say for example, Thanos, you can use Thanos for PvE, but if you go to his elite gear, you see that it's intended for him to be a PvP character because they gave him damage reduction. And it's the same thing for people like Sentry or people like Null. They give them PvP, I would say, oriented elite gear. Same thing for like characters like Carnage and Wolverine, etc. So I say all that to say they don't want him to be a PvP character, and it's unfortunate because he's only missing one piece to be worthy of being tier 4'd by me, and I would say a lot of players as well. Like there's a lot of people who are really hoping that one of his skills would have iframe ignore or maybe super guard break or something crazy like that, but unfortunately no dice. Okay, he just has a decent kit overall. The leadership, the support, his passives are amazing, but they don't apply to all. Like if these two passives had applied to allies, that would be amazing. The decreased chain hit, if they just made this, even if it's only applied to mutants, this would put him in the realm of like my Agent Venom. You know, like something like this in conjunction with this and his uniform bonus. If they didn't give him iframe ignore, you would start seeing him on some teams for Team Battle Arena. But unfortunately, you're not going to see Beast anywhere, even though he has a decent kit, right? He has damage accumulation, he has healing, he has decent damage. But unfortunately, they're designing this character for PvP and just skipping out on a few things that could make him a top tier contender. So because of that, I'm gonna skip over tier 4 him, and more than likely majority of the high-end accounts, unless you're like a major whale that tier 4 is everybody, you're gonna see people skip over Beast, and it's quite sad. It really is quite sad because I was hoping that things would change for him this time around. However, he's not too bad for World Boss, so I wanted to show you guys how he performs. We'll go in maybe against Kang and see what we can do with him at level 80. I don't think he's gonna get up there in the 40s though at level 80, so we'll see how he does. I think, oh boy, you have to go really far down, eh? Oh my gosh, yo, Beast, man, really. violation. Flag on the play, coach. All right, let me throw him in here and show you guys a little bit of what he can do against Kang. And we'll probably put him against a couple other bosses, but it's sad, bro. It's sad. All right, we got him set as the dealer. So the rotation for him is going to be 6, 3, 4, and then 5. The way how he's designed, though, you're gonna have to kind of play him with a CDP of Rage. You could probably get away with using him with a CDP of Energy or Destruction. You know, since you're gonna put him on your team in AC at the very least to juice up your guys with more HP and some ignore dodge. And since he does have like a PvP artifact that can make him stay alive a little bit longer and whatnot, like, he's not bad. Like, if you look at his HP, bro, like his HP is fat. That's 160k. Like, that's good, bro. It's just unfortunate that they didn't go far enough. And it's like, man, again, it's one of those things where you get your hopes up, and when you do that, you set yourself up to be disappointed. And that's exactly what happened in this case with Beast for me. And so the proc was a little off there, and the cooldown on the 5th is a little too long for my liking. Yeah, the damage is not as hot and sexy when we don't have the 6, eh? Hot up in the 6, boy. Right, so yeah, when we got the 6 skill in the mix, he hits kind of it's kind of nice, I ain't gonna lie. Let me try him on something a little bit higher. It really is quite a shame. Hopefully they don't drop the ball on Bishop. That's all I'm gonna say. Let's do some damage here. Oh. Yeah, looking at his HP, man, like a tier 4 juiced up with some Odins. Push, especially since I don't have like a PvP deck and whatnot, bro. Like, I'm thinking like long term, this guy would have like a fat stack of HP, you know, with the all defense and the damage reduction and stuff, bro. I feel like he could have been like something amazing. And, you know, maybe in the future, whenever he gets a uniform. But the thing is, there's never been a time in this game when Beast was anything close to the meta. The most he was ever at any point is that there was a time when you would use Star and Garters, his 5th skill, and it would give you a buff, and you could pass the buff to other characters. So what we would do is I would use his 5th skill and then tag him out, and then tag in our DPS and just go crazy, you know. And I remember back in the day, we would try to like stack his buff with okay, let me see if I can tank this. Yeah, stack his buff with Daisy Johnson, and then try to like snipe Proxima Midnight in World Boss, like regular World Boss. I guess it's World Boss Ultimate, yeah. Alright, we're gonna test out the Beast in rank battle and see how this guy does. Let's go. See, because his 5th skill cooldown is so long, it's kind of annoying to play him. Yeah, fam. I love the 2nd skill though. Watching him bounce. It's kind of like Red Guardians. He has lots of hits on his 5th skill. I think there's like 50 hits there or something crazy like that, which is pretty good. It's a full iframe too, so it's perfect for this. Okay. Bounce. Bounce, furball. I'm curious to see what you guys get with him though. Hit me in the comments, let me know what your rank battle score is with Beast. I know most of y'all won't tier 4 him, and I won't either, I'll tell you that. I'll wait and see. I think what I'm gonna do, go ahead and bounce on this guy. They could have put an iframe ignore on his 2nd skill, bro. It's not. It wouldn't have made him that OP, bro. Like, They violating. Whatever. I was gonna say, I don't want to curse my boy Bish, but I'll just say I hope Beast, Hank McCoy, my boy, my twin, is the worst that we see from this update in terms of uniforms. You know, right now we're in terms of uniforms, we're going 2 for 3, and new character. I would say Sunspot is really good, and he's a good support as well, right? So in terms of all of the characters, uniform, etc. that we got in this update, it's 3 out of 4. That's really good, especially looking at the pattern that we've seen for the last, I would say, 12, maybe 15, 16 months. So if Bishop comes and whoever else, you know what I'm saying, and he just makes a big impact, whew, this would be honestly the best update of the year. It will be tough to beat. It will be tough to beat, really, especially since all these guys are free to play. Anyways, ladies and gents, gonna wrap it up right here. Leave me your thoughts in the comments, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.